You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Care What People Think podcast. Will, did you hear that perfectly, or did I lag out like last time?
Yep. This is our fifth time recording this.
Actually, he's 15th, but he didn't hear the other 10 times.
Dang
Basically,
it.
my internet is fine, but my brother stole my Ethernet cable, so I have these lag spikes. It's a whole thing. But either way,
Lag.
I was a little insecure because Will made fun of me and started laughing when I was just doing a normal intro.
It sounded like he turned into like Siri and just froze. Like, have you seen that thing where it's like you say, "Hey Siri, say and it just does that." Yeah, that's what he sounded like.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to continue. Siri is going to continue. Sorry. I'm Siri, also known as Ryan, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Will, who is
Alexa.
Yep, Alexa. Yep, Amazon Alexa, who is an hour late to this podcast.
Okay.
By the way, it's fine. I'm not on a schedule or anything. Do you have anything to say about that, or were you just late making dinner or something?
I mean, realistically, I was late working my job that I go to work at a job for when I work 9 to 5 at my job.
Bro,
that's why I was late.
Flexing his routine. And that's perfect because this podcast is all about helping each other out to live life to the fullest and hopefully give you some tips and help along the way. But before we dive into our juicy topic today, as Will said, getting to a job and having an importance of a routine, I'm starting us off with what I am most proud of from the previous week. And we do this because the victories in life, whether they're big or small, it's still a victory. I just want to remind you because I actually had a couple questions of why we do that. So there's your answer.
That makes sense. And I just Ryan didn't tell me that you guys were asking why we do that.
But that was actually in the last couple weeks. They just asked, "Hey, like, why do you do that?" And I was like, "Wait, we haven't said why since week 3, probably." So yeah.
Oh, true.
Anyway, I am proud of my proactive mindset, and that is very broad. It sounds broad, but the reason I say that is because just in the last week, I have secured 2 jobs, one serving, which is just a transfer. It wasn't too hard to get.
Let's go.
But then also a supply chain job. So that got me my foot in the door with a different city. And I've been looking into Charlotte for a while now. But yeah, this last week has been very proactive in the way that I've approached things and contacted people. And yeah, also another really good thing with that mindset is I've been trying to take good breaks so I'm not anxious or overwhelmed with so much on my plate right now. And that's a perfect segue into our topic of the importance of a routine and why you should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready? Do a routine. That's the point. I'm not going to lie. This kind of relates to the routine, but we basically shifted everything. Our routine of recording episodes, we shifted everything into Notion. I just realized we've never actually recorded. Like, we don't know the layout of who makes certain points. So that's why you always have to make sure you stay clear and concise about your routine so you can, be more effective, because that was a pretty bland blank space. I was just going to start off, though, by saying when I wrote these notes, I actually wrote the notes before I kind of shifted my whole kind of, I guess, lifestyle. Like, right as we recorded the fitness failures episode, I was never working out. And then right after that, I was like, okay, fuck this. Honestly, it came from, I'm pretty sure I said this last episode, but I'm like, I need to see change because I'm being impatient as fuck. And if you want time to slow down, dude, do a plank. Time will slow all the way down. So I just was like, let me just exercise. And then, started feeling better. I also felt like I had more control of my time in my day because I was waking up before work, etc. That was just what I said last week. But so what's funny is the routine I actually have down here is completely different, which I think, is very valuable, that you can totally just shift your routines whenever you want. Obviously, don't shift your routine every day because then that's not a routine. That's just a lifestyle. But yeah, routines are key to being the most productive and efficient person you actually can be, because, everything is organized. Every bit of your time has like a set purpose of what you're going to do. And it gets you to build great habits that you may never thought you'd be doing. Like me working out. I freaking hated working out beforehand. And now I'm out here waking up at 6 a.m. 3 times a week before work. never thought I'd do that. On a more specific day, literally, I don't even know if Ryan knows this. This was my old routine, which is how I had a worse lifestyle. I would basically go to bed around midnight, 1 a.m., get 7 to 8 hours of sleep because that's essential for me, at least 8.
Same.
Wake up 8:30, 8:40, get to work at 9, work till 3:30, have a break. I like taking my break way later because then there's less work after your break to do. And then I finish at 6, and then I come home and like work on I make dinner, and then I would like work on a YouTube video. And that was pretty much my day to day. But now that I'm
For
like
a
working
long
out and
time
I
too, right?
yeah, that was
Like 6 months probably.
yeah, actually, that was probably from when I got my job in February up until like 3 weeks ago. And then as of the last 3 weeks, like I said, 3 times a week, I wake up at 6 a.m., get to the gym at 6:15, work out till 7:30, 7:40, shower, make a giant ass breakfast because something that I realized is, dude, you have to eat three
Energy.
times. Oh, yeah,
Energy.
you have to eat 3 times a day. And it's
Dude,
so
I
hard.
agree with that because if you don't have a big breakfast or an like nutritious breakfast, you start losing energy before noontime. I fully agree
That's
with
true.
that. Anyway,
Well, I
continue.
usually like I would get up and have like a granola bar and that's my breakfast. Or I don't have breakfast. I just go to work and I would snack throughout the day. But like now, your boy is coming home having eggs and rice and I'm making like 5 eggs every day for
Hear me
breakfast. And then I have overnight oats that I made the previous like weekend. I just have like a batch of those so I meal prep for
Hear
the
me
week.
out. Do you think this is like I guess we're really gonna talk about this next week with the importance of sleep, which is a little teaser. Shh. But anyway, I do you think it's a mental game? Or is it like really your sleep routine, your habits, your just routine in general? Or yeah, like because for me, like to wake up and eat breakfast, I have to go to sleep earlier and I have to like be in a good mindset. Maybe be motivated or disciplined to an extent, but that's the way I get a big meal inside of me instead of waking up and having a granola bar. So I think it goes both ways, but I just wanted to hear your opinion on that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the main cause of my shift in routine was because my current routine was making I was so impatient. And being impatient is usually like a pretty common shared weakness.
mhm.
And something I just have learned within being tired of like everything in my current job staying the exact same. I'm not doing anything new. I'm not learning any new information. I kind of have like filled the
You're just
formula of what I have to
stagnant.
do. Exactly. And so because of me being so impatient, it literally got me to go to the gym and sign up for a gym membership because I'm like, everything everything sucks because it's being stagnant. But if I go to the gym and I work out minimum, right? I just like even if I was to go through the motions at the gym, but I do that for 3 months, I will literally look and feel different. And that's if
Yeah.
I'm not really trying. So like if
Well,
I'm trying, then
and after those 3 months, you'll wake up on that, fourth month and be like, wait, I want to go to the gym. And that's been
oh
my
yeah.
routine. So I'm going to do it. Like it's going to be kind of hard to break that
No,
routine.
actually. That
And I,
that's yeah,
I felt that in Europe too. Like I was literally walking, like this is crazy, but like 30,000 steps on average
that's
just
crazy.
in cities and like to get to train stations. And I got back to Fort Collins. And I'm like, okay, how do I how do I hit these steps? Like my legs literally felt weak because I couldn't get as much physical activity as I could out there. Not saying like I couldn't go on runs or whatever, but like I'm not gonna run for 5 miles a day just to like keep up with that. But I could genuinely feel my legs like falling out of that routine. And it took a while for them to, fully, yeah, just come back from that. So, I actually want to share my routine. I don't want to bore you with my whole day to day, but I was going to just share my morning routine if that's all right. We already heard
Oh,
Will's. We heard he takes the deodorant, puts it in his
no, 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 no.
armpit, does 2 to 3 rubs, and then puts it back down. Toothpaste on the teeth. Like, did we
It's a
need to get into
shame.
that much detail? God
It's
dang.
a shame that well, it's good you got your job, but it's a shame that it wasn't tomorrow you got it because then I could have said Ryan's morning routine. That one random friend, unemployed on a Tuesday, wakes up at 3:43 p.m. Gets up, eats a fucking ice sandwich for lunch,
Ice
and then
sandwich.
just 2 pieces of bread and cubes of ice, and then walks to the park and slacklines, and then goes to go-karting by himself and starts filming on TikTok. Like, I was
Why are
gonna
you
make that
describing
reference.
every Boulder kid? What is going on right
Oh
now?
my
You know the craziest part is they're not eating ice sandwiches. They're eating full on like 5-course meals because daddy and mommy are just giving them money. But they're
That's
unemployed,
crazy.
smoking weed, slacklining all day, all night. So that is crazy that you say that, but that's funny.
Well, yeah,
That is funny.
go with your routine. I had one more thing to add with mine after.
Actually, go ahead real quick because I'm just going to share my morning routine. I figure that's a big part of today's episode. So,
Oh, I was just gonna say after I have like a actual breakfast where I make like food. Favorite part of the day, I watch 2 episodes of One Piece before I go to work because I finish my workout like an hour before I start work. So I literally wake up, get to watch cartoons before I work. So it's like school in elementary school because I'd wake up before school and watch cartoons, go to school, go to soccer, whatever. So
yeah.
that
That's
was it.
no, that's totally fair. It just kind of takes your mind off things and just watching a show. I think I do that a lot. The one thing I was gonna say though is like my schedule is not as um, orderly and as much of a routine as yours. So that's why I really only want to share my morning because I am unemployed and I have a lot more flexibility with that. But my mornings really do consist of the same thing, and it's gonna be kind of boring, but I wake up, I take a shower, I make coffee, I make breakfast, and after that, I really do like either I'm applying for jobs, I'm going to the gym or whatever it is. But like after that, it's kind of a flexible schedule. And but the reason why I really wanted to like hone in on like the morning routine is because this allows my body to continuously wake up while being semi-productive in the morning and not just laying in bed scrolling on TikTok or whatever it is. I'm getting out of bed, actually being proactive. So
Yeah,
um, you made a point about how you need 8 hours of sleep, or at least you did in your previous routine,
yeah.
or I bet you still do. But
Oh, yeah. I
I was gonna
kind of did
say
say.
that I don't know if you feel this way, but I currently need like 7 hours of sleep if I go to bed before midnight. So let's just say if I go to bed at 11, I can wake up at 6 and I can feel fine. But then crazy enough, if I go to sleep after midnight or even like 1 or 2, whatever it is, I have to have more than 8 hours just to feel like refreshed. And I think this has something to do with like the grogginess of sleeping in after midnight. But like, I was just gonna ask, does that happen to you or? Yeah,
He's old.
probably,
He's
bro.
officially old. No, I was gonna say I do the same thing. I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. and then I wake up at 6, and that for me is less sleep than normal. Like, I feel fine and I'm motivated to get out of bed to like work out, but I would agree with that. Like, if I go to bed at like 1, it's like guaranteed I'm waking up. I have to wake up no earlier than 10 or 10:30, and that's if
Yeah,
I go to
and
bed at 1, and that's 9.5 hours.
okay, why do you think that is? Is that like, I mean, we could get all scientifical and all crazy and stuff, but like, do you think that's to do with like our chemicals in our brain being like around darkness for a longer period of time or something, so that we're like waking up and we're like, wait, it's time to like go to sleep again. Like I don't know like what the actual reasoning is for any of this. Do you like?
That was so vague. I'm sorry, bro. Wait, do you think we sleep in because of our chemicals in our brain? You mean our
No,
brain?
no. I'm saying like you know how like if you're staying up later, you're around darkness or like maybe staring at a screen or like just not letting your brain go to sleep earlier. So I don't know if it's like waking up early
It-
after a late night out is just like it just messes with your brain so much. And again, this is like next week's topic, but I really just I don't know what the actual reasoning is for that.
That's actually, oh man, that does suck because that is basically next week's topic. Obviously, I'd say like the screen time, which again, if you're trying to build this, going back to routine, say you're wanting to go to bed earlier. First of all, I'd suggest that's the best move anyone can ever
Facts.
make. There's no bad. It's like going to the gym. That literally can't be a bad thing for you, really, because you're your body needs exercise to function. And so the more sleep you get, I think staring at a screen, right? That is just it keeps you awake longer when you should be like kind of either winding down or going to bed. So like I think getting in the habit, at least what I do is like when I decide I'm going to bed, it's like a sweep of the room where it's like, okay, computer turned off, lights turned off, TV's off, phone set the alarm, charging, and I'm done. I don't go into
Totally.
my bedroom and then scroll on my phone because that's prolonging like that habit
Yeah,
is
your brain is taking 10 times as long to shut down then, and it's just going
yeah.
to be wired. So, totally.
Also, the pro of having shit eyesight, I hate being in a room that's like fully dark and seeing a bright screen.
You
That
know, we
shit
had
is
this
annoying.
conversation probably week 4 or something.
Oh, we did.
No, whatever it was, you did ask me that, and I go, I don't really care. You literally
Damn.
all you said was, well, do you actually like resonate to this, or but like where you just have like a really bright screen and you're like you can't be around just darkness, and I'm like, wait, what? No. I, because I was looking
No,
back
that
for
shit pissed
clips,
me off.
bro, and I think that was like week 3 or 4 or something. Funny, it was very funny.
Yeah. No, I'd say that's a really hard habit to kick though. If you're like, if you do regularly, Ryan's a fucking menace. This dude will put his phone across the room, like
Yeah,
you said in that one episode. I'm not to that extreme. That
no,
to me
but that's
is
because I genuinely have to do that for myself. Like, I won't even think about picking up my phone if it's right next to me, and then an hour goes by, and I'm like, wait, why did I just do that? So it's honestly for my own good.
I mean that's fair. I can't do that. I just the good and bad news about like getting into routines about again changing your habits you want to have for yourself, whether that's eating healthier or cooking more or going to the gym or trying something new. Starting is the hardest part. So good news, once you start, you did the hardest part.
It's only downhill from
Actually,
here.
I'd probably say
Just kidding.
like day 2 through 5 is like the hardest part of doing something new.
Bro, we're
Like
not
if you're
talking about
trying,
you on a treadmill. Jesus. Like, we
no,
can...
okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, they're so fast. It's hard to keep
Have you seen
up.
that one episode of BoJack where that like old dude comes up to him and gives him a super inspirational quote? Like, have you
No,
when
I
BoJack
I
Horseman? You've never watched that show?
I have, but I haven't seen it in hella time.
Okay, basically BoJack's on the ground and he's trying running for like the first time, and he falls over, and the old man that runs every single day, BoJack sees him outside of his like window or
Oh
whatever, but
yeah.
he's running.
I
It's just
remember
like that
that.
old runner dude. He comes up to BoJack. BoJack falls over and is like passing out because he's so tired from running, right? And the old dude's like, "Trust me, every single day it gets just a little bit easier. Keep doing it." So even though that sounds like
Damn.
a little cringy, it actually is like super true. Like, just get out there, put on your running shoes, keep at it. I think that's so important. So
Oh no, I thought you were gonna ask a story about treadmills. And one time I was like 7 and I went on a treadmill and I had never been on a treadmill before, so I put it to max speed and I jumped on and I flew off and did a backflip and I hit the wall. And have I never told you this story? Damn.
No, no.
I was literally 7 and it literally said a sign, no children on the exercise equipment. But my parents were like paying for some shit because we were there to play racquetball. And so my curious little ass just went over to the thing, maxed it out on like speed of 9 or some shit, and jumped on it. And my glasses broke, and then I like bit my lip. And it was just funny because like my parents were like at the desk, and then they turn around and their kids just like literally hit
Is
the
in
wall.
like
And
4 different parts.
no, my brother was laughing so hard. That was the hardest I'd seen my brother laugh because
Oh, dude.
he saw the whole thing. Like it said no kids on it, and then he saw me go over there and just break the rule. And then I didn't even break the rule mildly. I put it on extreme because for some reason I thought I was fast, which has never been the case. So then, yeah,
Bro, I'm just like your brother right now. I
treadmills.
cannot contain my laugh. That is so funny. And you know the funniest part is all I've been thinking about, like while you've been talking, is how did you do a backflip if you were running forward? That makes no sense. You said you did a backflip, but the only way to do a backflip is if you're backwards. There's no other way.
I was drinking water. I didn't
Tell me
even
how that
plug-
works. Tell me how that works. All I was thinking is like, wait, did his head like skirt and like he like turned and like did a backflip? What happened here? Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that.
So it was
did
probably
you-
a front flip, correct?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't fucking know. I blacked out so fast.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
jumped on and it was out. Oh man.
Oh man.
You said you had like tips and tricks and stuff for like building routine though, or was
Yeah,
kinda-
well, and it's a little bit more broad, but I actually really want to talk about like how a routine matters more than ever before. I think in my life and your life and really anyone like navigating their early 20s out of college. And this is a straight fact. I took it from the internet and really I made sure it was cited, MLA format. Um, but no, it's proven that consistent routines can reduce stress and anxiety by creating a sense of control. And the reason why I bring that up is because in your early 20s, you have so much unknown. And although Will, is like already like head manager at his company, not all of us are as cool as Will, but like we're all like navigating this
Not.
point of our life. And having a routine, like maybe it's kind of just like just a way to cope almost, but like having these routines in place like really push the limits with what you're capable of doing, and you can really be level-headed when you're doing this stuff. I don't think about it like when my day-to-day will consist of like, sorry, let me restart that because that was
Bro's
confusing.
reading
No,
faster
no.
in
I'm
his-
not. I'm not actually reading. No,
Oh.
no. I'm trying to think of my like how to relate this to like my energy as well. When I have a routine, wake up early, I'm like way more like I can fill my routine. I can really get things done. Like I said, this past week, I've gotten 2 jobs done by just stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, being in communication with these people. And yeah, like not just sitting in bed and watching it time pass by me. But yeah, the other main thing, I'm trying to like low key read my notes. I'm not trying to read word for word here.
Damn, scripted podcast. Damn,
Super scripted.
they don't
super
make it like
scripted.
I'm used to.
No, but I wrote down here. I said I save mental energy by having a plan or routine, and can focus on myself. And I think that's kind of what I just said with like career growth and my own personal growth. Um, Figuring out what's next is a very big stressor in a lot of people's lives. So I wish I could hit you with more facts, but I really just wanted to like show you that a routine has so many pros to it, and the first step is just getting out there and doing it, like Will said. So that is
No, that's
super important.
I was just gonna say that probably makes more sense with like having a sense of control. Also, you end up making less decisions. Like I'm pretty much gonna talk more heavy about this next episode, but like if you meal plan or meal prep or you go to the gym or you build some sort of routine, like now, I guess, after you've done the routine, say for a week, you now theoretically don't have to make nearly as many decisions because it's like already made, which will save you the mental like capacity and energy of thinking about like, okay, what do I need to eat for the next meal? Okay, when am I going to the gym? Like if you set a direct time that you're going to the gym, I'm just using that because that's a very like I think everyone should go to the gym, and it's a very
Yeah.
it's just a pro for everyone. That if you say I'm going at 6 a.m., you don't even have to think about after work. Like if you, I don't know, it's just you have less decision making to do, which can
Yeah, you can
either help
focus
you
on the
maximize your
now.
day. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of now, there's just a sentence that I remember saying. I don't know
Will
if
is
you
now going to
heard
do
this
the
in me.
outro. Just kidding.
Damn
No, just
it,
kidding.
that would have been good. No,
That
I
would've
was
been a
gonna.
good segue.
I was just gonna say, the like having a routine is so important because you end up becoming your routine because your routine is full of habits, and practice doesn't make perfect. Hot take. practice makes habit. And so if you just stick with a habit, you just keep getting better and better and better. That's for sure thing. And so I used to think, oh, I'll go to the gym in the future when I've worked hard enough so I can like slow down on my work. Theoretically, like if I was told to work out in like high school and in college, and I was like, nah, I'm going to do, Mom, I'm going to do YouTube. I don't need to work out. Like that literally was me. And I mean, bless up, my mom was so like supportive. She somehow let me do that to learn that's not the way to do it. But if you just keep pushing something off like that, you don't let the routine start. What if current will is not working out? That means future will is not going to work out either because I'm not doing it. And then also just on a second, totally different point, if I like get the immediate success that I want from like YouTube or whatever, bro, there's no fucking way I would slow down. I would get so excited that I would work more. So I can't.
Totally.
So that's just a probably thing I use to cope. Like you said, having a routine is a good way to like cope out those, decision making, stressors, control. But make sure you do it.
Also something I just took out of what you just said was like it builds character, like it builds who you are. So if you keep working on yourself, working on your goals, like you're just gonna keep getting better in whatever that means for you. So don't let anybody tell you differently. And like if you have a goal, get after it and just start that run, if you will. So
and then backflip and hit
backflip, hit the wall. Yeah.
Break your glasses.
Nice. Nice.
If you were going to listen to one thing though throughout this episode, remember having routines can be a great way to start habits like we previously mentioned, and ultimately, change your life for the best version that you can be. And a great habit I'd recommend. I don't want to, fuck it. This is a challenge. A great habit I'd recommend all of you listening to do right now.
I'm booked this week.
Don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
A great habit you're going to start right now is you're going to follow this podcast and listen to every episode we post weekly.
All right. Okay, but what if we don't do that?
So make sure to follow the podcast and leave a review and listen to every episode because that's the habit you're going to be starting.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to give like a threat. You're like, well, I'm going to come find you and...
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Nope, just the routine. That's the threat.
If you don't stick to your routine, you explode.
Remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.